It's about that time.
Line dance.
Woo!
Let's
Oh yeah.
talk soul.
It's about that time.
Line dance. Let's
Come on.
talk
It's about
soul.
that time.
Line dance. Let's
Y'all ready?
talk
Listen.
soul. Line dance.
Slide left, right, keep it clean. We're talking soul line dance with the queen. Play trivia, win some money. Ooh, we keep it funny. You don't have to wonder about another. Cause we gon' make it do what it do. What it do. Ready, so ready. Now we're just waiting on you to talk
Soul. Line dance.
with the queen.
Talk soul. Line dance.
Hey,
Let's talk soul. Line dance.
with the queen.
Talk soul. Line dance.
Hey.
Talk soul. Line dance.
All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone out there in Line Dance Land. We are so glad that you tuned in today. It's another beautiful day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, hailing, sunshine, and whatever the weather may be. It's a beautiful day because we all woke up to see it today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Let's Talk Soul Line Dance. I'm your host, Queen Sheila, the Line Dance Connection, all the way from Tampa, Florida. And I'm so glad that you tuned in today. So I have some amazing, amazing co-hosts with me today, and we have a guest. Oh my goodness. Just wait. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. Get your pad and pen out so you can write some notes. Fasten your seatbelt because we'll probably be going around the moon somewhere, with this conversation. So before we do that, I'm going to bring in my co-host, none other than Miss Zandra Hill, coasting all the way from Montgomery, Alabama. Hey,
Well,
Zandra.
hello. How's everyone doing? How are you, Queen?
I'm good. I am good. I just thank God for another one, girl. Another one. Yeah,
Absolutely. Every day.
yes. I love your orange. It's pretty.
Well, thank you. I see you popping off with your glasses.
Oh, girl. I had my Elks meeting today, and we had to wear all white. Girl, from the rooter to the tutor, it's got to be all white. So I was like, and this is me changing. I might as well keep it on because I just got home a few minutes ago. So, but thank you. Thank you so much. Yep. So, I'm excited about our guest today, you
Of
know,
course.
but everybody's gonna
We
have
are
to
in
go ahead.
we're in for a treat. We're talking about a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to know counting, terminology, different formats of dance. I mean, hey, you better tune in and stay tuned in because you're in for a treat.
That's so true. That's so true. This is one of the teachers of the teacher. It teaches the teachers.
Absolutely.
But we ain't gonna give it away. We ain't gonna give it away. We gonna
Okay,
wait.
okay,
Gonna
okay.
wait. They gotta wait just like us. So now I'm gonna bring in my other co-host that's on with us today, all the way from California. I never remember what part, but it's way over there on the other coast. Miss Linda Flowers. Hey, Linda.
Hello, how's everyone?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
That's good. That's good. Tell me what part of California you in, Linda?
I'm in Southern California.
Okay.
I'm in Stockton, California, about 45 miles from Sacramento and about an hour from Oakland. So it's kind of in the middle.
In the middle. Okay, because every time I
Hmm
hear somebody from California, where part they're from, they're like, "Oh, I'm from Northern California. I'm from Southern California." I'm like, "I just know
hmm
California. It's over there."
Yeah, but I'm from San Francisco, about an hour and a half from San Francisco. That was
Uh,
where I was raised.
yes. And before we bring our guests in, Miss Melba's online. She said, "Hey, Queen Sandra and Linda. Hey, girl."
How are you?
Melba's
Sandra,
one
how are you?
of our yeah, Melba's one of our
Good
favorite folks.
to see you. It's been a week since I've seen you.
Yes. Well, without further ado, I'm going to bring in our special guest on today, all the way from Riverside, California, none other than Harriet Cogstucky. Hey, Harriet. How are you?
So glad to be here.
That's
We're
so
glad We are glad to have you. So happy and I'm excited. I have y'all look, I got my notepad today. I'm
Me
gonna take
too.
me some notes. How about that?
Like, I'm with you. I'm ready. I'm ready to take my notes. But
That's
Harriet,
it.
welcome to
Hi,
Leverage
Harriet.
Hey,
Dad.
hey,
How are you today?
doing great. Get to dance every day. I'm wonderful.
Yeah. Linda
That's what I'm talking.
Girolano. Is that how you say her name? Linda Girolano? Girolano. She said, "Hi, Harriet." That must be one of your
Hey,
people.
hey, Linda. She's out here in the Inland Empire as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get started. Tell us who Harriet Cox Stuckey is.
It was a rainy night some years ago. No, you didn't want a story, did you?
Oh, that's fine.
I was born in Chicago and went to school there and married in Chicago. My husband has passed on. My husband was Sterling Stuckey, university professor of Northwestern University and then University of California, Riverside. And
Okay.
that's how I came to be in Southern California.
Okay.
So one year we were in Northern California at the Center for Advanced Study in Behavioral Sciences. And I heard Motown music on the campus of Stanford. And a friend and I were walking, and we just went to the sound, and we found people line dancing in the foyer of the law school.
Okay.
So I became one of the founding members of Stanford's Soul Line Dance class while I was in Northern California that year, and that was founded by, taught by Julienne Lucas.
Okay.
So I said to myself, I have such a wonderful time with line dancing, soul line dancing, because it's rhythm and blues, jazz, salsa, gospel, country, and
Mm.
just so many formats of music that when I come back to Southern California, I'm going to start a class and I'm going to call it Heart and Soul because it's good for the heart and the soul.
Okay. Yes, it
So
is.
that's literally what motivated me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So I came back.
Go ahead.
Yes. I
I didn't want
started
to
with one class in Riverside.
Okay.
Started with one class, and the next thing I knew, I was getting phone calls. People in the city of Pomona, which is some 30 miles away, asked if we would
Do a class there. And from there, we ended up from 2000. We started in 2004. And by 2006, we had 30 classes in 10 cities. And that spans 3 counties, Riverside County, San Bernardino County, and the eastern part of LA County. So that's what we did until the pandemic hit. Then
Okay.
everything was shut down.
Yes.
So everything was closed, and I taught online. I had Zoom classes.
Okay. I think a lot of us went down that road.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
have you gone back into the classroom?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, let me quickly add that I don't do this by myself. And even though after post-pandemic, we only have 16 classes, but I have 5 other line dance instructors that also teach in their general areas. I modeled this health education promotion format similar to ways that I had learned when I went back to school for my Master of Public Health and what I had done even before that when I worked for a feminine hygiene company for many years. We had our territories. So we lived near where we worked. And so that's what my instructors do. And we identified places where they could do the classes. Of course, you have to have a good floor and it has to have good space and good lighting.
That's
So
so that's real
we're trying,
important.
Mhm. We're trying to
Cool.
rebuild. Some of our classes still haven't opened again. Some of the sites where we gave classes still have not reopened since the
Wow.
pandemic shut. Yeah.
Wow. I thought everything was
And
back
I
open.
think part of it, no, some places are maybe open because some of them were health sites, health centers,
Uh-huh.
but they're very careful about what kind of programming they're doing.
Okay.
And they're slow to return to what they were doing if you're talking about having groups of people, because our classes at one time, it was not unusual for a moderate sized classroom to be 30, individuals being
Okay.
taught. And of course, now you have to have physical distancing of 6 feet and of course, that's not a big,
even without consideration of COVID.
issues. So you have to have a certain amount of square footage just to do what we do.
Yes. Yes. I can attest to that because we
Mhm.
moved to a new location just the 1st of January, right after the New Year's. And the place is really long, but it's not very wide. It's actually
Yes.
like a food bank, but
Uh,
the food is like back there, and it's just a big classroom, I would say. And that
mhm.
was one of the complaints that I received from my students, that it's just not big enough for us to social. Now they can be really long because the room is really long, but I'd have to stand up here and everybody's on top of one another behind me. So I can
Yeah.
understand you say the space is very important. Very important.
Mhm.
All right. So, Miss Harriet, now
Yes.
I know you do a little more. I know this is Let's Talk Soul Line Dance, okay? But when you were talking about when you went into Stanford to find out where this Motown music was coming from, you never said once that you had trouble learning how to do the dance, any of those things. You were like, hey, I'm taking this back to California. So were you like a natural born dancer?
To some degree, yes. I can remember dancing as young as 3 years of age. And we enjoyed dancing. One of the things that my parents would do before they go out with my two other sisters, my brother was born much later, but they put on music for us to dance to. And we would dance ourselves crazy while they were getting ready to go out, a lot of improv. And then we'd collapse for the babysitter, right? We'd be ready to go to bed. So I have memories of dancing all the time. And we did take ballet, we took Hawaiian classes. I mean, we were just involved in dance. When I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, and that was not just clapping and yelling. We actually did stunts, gymnastics movements, and choreographed steps. So I've been involved in dance in some way for most of my life.
And
Yeah.
that was just a couple
But
of
I
years
have to learn new dances. Oh yeah, right. Just a few years ago. No, don't I earned all of these
A few years ago.
yeah.
Are you still
Yes.
are you
But
still
I
planning on having the instructor class this year?
am I having an instructor class? I belong to a consortium of instructors that
That's what
is
I meant.
headed
Mhm.
by Sharon Lynn Holmes. And so, yes, they will be doing that. I'm just one of the directors. I'm the Western Regional Director for that program. But, we're in our areas. We do a fair amount of things online or on Zoom together. I think they're trying to figure out a combination of Zoom for us, but they will also be offering training for other instructors, hopefully on in live, I should say, in person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you know
So
what I
right
just
now, So right now they're just doing Zoom. They're not doing it live right now.
You mean the people, the consortium right now? No, they're not live. But each of us who is an instructor in our own area, we're continuing to teach. We teach. We're out there on the dance floor.
Mhm.
I was going to
And
say,
some,
it's something I just realized. We have two directors on the show today. Harriet from the West and Zandra from the South. You ladies
Yeah.
are doing it. You're doing it. That's wonderful. Wonderful.
well, I'm noticing some people in the audience too. When you say directors, they run, they teach, they have their own programs. I'm seeing Adicia Elijah. I'm
Uh-huh.
seeing Ray Johnson. I'm
Yes.
seeing Linda Garolano. And Linda, I apologize. I've never asked you how to pronounce your name correctly. Garolano? Or so you'll have to correct me on that. Just to name a few people that also are busy out there learning and teaching. Because we have to learn the dance so that we can teach everybody else.
Oh, true.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's the community of it. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. You know,
That's
people
the-
see us collect, like we have our class, they see the little money in the jar, whatever the cost of the class is, and they think, oh, I could do this, I could do that, that line dancing is nothing, it's easy. But they don't know how many hours we spend behind the scenes learning dances, perfecting the dance, learning how you call out the steps, learning how you counter dance, all those different aspects of being a good instructor. Because anybody can maybe be an instructor, but are you a good instructor where your people leave and learn, come back and want to come back again but learn from you? That's the biggest thing. It tickles me because I class and they'll say, how many walls is this dance? And I'm like, man, I don't remember. I just learned to dance to teach it. And then as we do it, I say, I think it's a one wall. And the more we do it, they say, no, it's a two wall. Because see, we started over here, I said, you're so right. But that makes you feel good. I don't mind being wrong. Sometimes I don't mind because that lets me know that they're listening and they're learning. And I'm sure that you can say the same thing, Harry. All the people that you have taught or who come through your class, and you too, Zandra, the people who have come through your classes and they come back and say, I can count this dance, or I can, I know the name of these steps. It makes you feel good because your hard work is not in vain.
Yes. Well, and I'm still learning. And, even if someone is teaching and doesn't know the name of a step or a dance, you're there to demonstrate it. And you can certainly teach by demonstration as well.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, we have to, whether you know the names of something or not, if you're going to make someone else aware of a dance, that's part of the territory. But as an instructor, if you have your own class or your own program, there's still a lot more. You have to figure out how to have that class somewhere. And they don't just let you come in and teach. You've got to be interviewed by the places where you want to hold class.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, and you have to have all of the information ready. If you're doing business in a city, you have to have a business license.
Right.
Not just for the city, but the county and the state, depends on what's going on in that city. So it does cost money to do business that we have to expend on our own, to make that work.
And insurance and the multiple personalities.
Oh, let's insurance. Yes, and all the while I think most of us have 200 to 300 dances floating around in our head.
Hey, exactly.
I see my picture frozen.
And I don't care what nobody says. Line dancing is not easy. It really isn't. You have to want to learn. You have to be, you have to really put your all in there. You have to really pay attention and have to, you just have to want to be there. Because if you don't, you're not going to learn it. It's not that simple. It's not that easy.
And it's just like a teacher in class. like Linda is saying, you're performing.
You're really performing.
Okay.
Right.
And so you have to be able to reach your audience, which is would be your students. Can you hear me? I'm seeing that one of
Yes,
my
you're
people
good.
has frozen.
You're good now. So what I would like to ask, I don't know how much you would like to expound on this, but can you share
Yes.
the importance of having a license?
Well, yes, because if you don't comply with whatever municipal entity where your class is located, you won't be able to have a class. I mean, technically, I don't want to be the one that someone comes in and tells me and shuts down my class because my license expired or because I don't have one. And I have a little insight on this because at one time I licensed facilities for early childhood. And so that, sorry, didn't turn off my phone. So it's a very real possibility when you don't comply with the powers that be and the basic standards. Having a license says that you complied with certain minimums, whatever your program is, or at least that you paid the money for it, for
Right.
the privilege of operating.
Yes, definitely.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So it's better to get those things, get your ducks in a row,
Yep.
Yeah.
Insurance.
So if there's somebody that's watching that's new to the line dance community and they're looking at instructing, what would you suggest to them? What advice would you give to them?
Well, I think it doesn't hurt to have a mentor or two and to ask, some of the people, go to the classes and ask some of the teachers that are teaching, about their experiences. It's important to also on your own do the research.
Yes.
Where if you know or have an idea where you'd like to teach, you need to find out what standards or
are the rules of the day for those areas.
I'm seeing a question here from Richard Ziggy Phillips.
Yep.
How many classes have been shut down that you know of for people that don't have licenses or that are not certified? I personally don't know. Let me say that some if anything, you don't get the opportunity to operate a class if you don't have certain licenses to operate as a business. Unless you're operating out of your home or out of your garage. Boy, I wish I could, but I got so much stuff in my garage. So that's not even possible. So I have to use public spaces. And
I
when
want
you
to
use
say
public spaces.
Go ahead.
That's you have to comply with some of these things. Yeah.
I was going to say, Ziggy, to answer your question too, I'm in Tampa and I was at the Hillsborough County Rec Center. That's where I was teaching my classes. And let me tell you, they knew when my license expired before I did. They also knew when my insurance ran out before I did, because they sent me, like an email or a text saying, Queen, your license expires, da 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 da, and your insurance expires. And I'm like, dang, I didn't know that. But because I had to turn all that into them when I started. So,
Right.
I don't know who
And
else.
that's just
it's like
right. Even at some
it's
of
a
these
snowball effect.
Yes.
It is. And I know some of the licenses, even CPR, if you're not up to date with that, and I too, Queen, get that notification saying, hey, your licenses are about to expire. And if I don't renew those within a certain length of time, I'm not allowed to teach at one of the facilities, actually both facilities that I currently teach at.
Okay.
Yes.
So Ziggy asked another question. Hi, Ziggy.
Hello, Ziggy.
You're saying licenses. Are you talking about the consortium license, or are you talking about just license to being a fitness instructor? And we're talking about a
Well,
license
let
to
me.
be an instructor, I'm sure. Somebody else wanted to say something. Harriet?
Well, I was just going to say it depends on what licensing entity you're talking about. Earlier we were talking about business licenses. That's just so that you can that shows that you paid a certain fee for the privilege of using the space.
License or being certified as an instructor is something else again. It relates to the fact that you have,
Harriet, you moved again.
okay,
Now
how
you're
about now?
no, you still robotic.
Okay, I
Don't know what else I
Okay,
can
now you're
do.
back. Go ahead, you're
Okay.
back.
I was saying a consortium license or being a license to be a fitness instructor, there are certain criteria that you have to address with each of those entities. If you're being certified by a particular organization, you have to address basic or minimum, at least minimum standards that are pertinent to that particular organization. So it varies.
Does that answer your question, Ziggy? By the way, I just went to Ziggy's event. I believe it was last month. And we had so much fun. Oh my God. I had never met Ziggy. He was on the show a little while ago, but I met him in person. And I tell you, everybody just loves him. He has such a wonderful personality. And I want to say thank you, Ziggy, for tuning in today and for your questions. Hopefully we have
Where was
answered them.
his class? Or where was his party? Where was the event?
The event was in Texas, Dallas.
San Antonio.
Ah.
I think it's San Antonio.
No, well, I don't know. I know we went to Texas. I flew to Texas. Now, where they took me after that?
Where it was, you remember? I think he gave it in San Antonio, and he called it the Dallas invasion.
Okay. Yeah, I got off the plane at the wrong airport, and they took me the way I need to be. So that's all I know. Dallas.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
okay.
He says it was Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Was
his
it
note. He said it was Dallas.
was it Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
So, Miss Harriet,
Okay. Oh, he lives in. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
are you able, may you elaborate on your different other forms of dance, if they played or play a role in your line dance creations now?
Well, certainly, because a lot of the steps, for example, if you're creating dances and you use the names of steps, there are specific dance steps that are, doesn't matter what form of dance you're doing. If you're doing a rond de jambe or a circle, rond de jambe is a circle in ballet. But if you're saying circle and you're showing it with your leg, it's still we know what that is.
or a lift of your knee,
It's the same step, no matter what dance form.
Hit the real quick. Hit the floor. A line dancer says now in some parts of South Carolina, if you are business licensed or not, certified instructor or not, some of the parks and recreation centers are requiring that you have a certain amount of insurance to rent their facilities. And I know that to be true here in Tampa because I brought $3 million each year and realized I don't think I really needed that much. I think $1 million was enough, but I bought $3 million just to be safe. But yeah, they required it. And then Natasha says, I feel that having a license speaks to how important your profession is to you. Knowing that you took the time to become a certified line dance instructor makes me believe your passion is real. And what do y'all think about them two?
Well, there's a lot of truth to both of those things.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you invest in the things that you're most passionate about.
Mhm.
And that's what, that's why it's so easy for so many instructors to say, Oh man, or better yet, like how Miss Harriet said, she had 30 classes. I'm like, and
Okay.
I'm like, how you do that? But
Yes.
it has to be driven by with passion.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I agree too. And even with hit the floor, you're right. You know, we have to protect ourselves. There are so many events that are out there. I'm sure if we were able to, we could go to an event every weekend.
Yes.
And, you know, sometimes things happen unexpectedly. And, you know, if you're not insured, guess what happens? People can come after you. They can sue you, they can sue the facility. Uh, you know, it goes on. And you always want to be able to protect yourself, not just with the insurance. Y'all better make sure them folks sign off on some, you know, some little waiver, okay?
Yes.
But I agree with both, as Miss Harriet said.
Yeah. And then Richard says that's true for a lot of places across the U.S. It's been that way for me for
Mhm.
years. So he's saying, you know, wherever he's been trying to teach, that it's been that way for him. You know, that he
Yes.
had to have insurance, he had to have a license and different things like that. And then Yvonne Cornelius says, "Hey, Line Dance family." And then Kathy Hug says, "Yes, must get insurance. That's the right thing. Soul Line Dance family. Save the date, September 8th through 10th, 2023, Ontario Convention Center. Tribute to Prince and Soul Line Dance." And then go to www.hayesevents.org. Well, thank you, Miss
I'll be
Kathy.
there. I'll
Well,
be
good.
there.
All right.
Good. Sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what, y'all, I know many of you may not know, but maybe you saw her. You know, Miss Harriet not only danced and whatnot, but she been on TV too.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
have
I've seen her
multiple stars now.
commercials. I've seen her commercials.
Yeah, and look, and then she
Very good.
created a dance right on the spot. You know, they put it out there. They was like, they asked, the host was like, oh, so you line dance. Okay, I forgot what she was dressed up as. But they's like, you line
An
dance.
angel. I was an angel.
How could I have forgotten?
Okay.
And I told Wayne Brady that he was my chocolate heaven.
Oh,
I
how
think I
nice.
scared him a little bit.
Oh, you got a chance to meet him? What was it like meeting him?
He's a delightful person. He's a consummate entertainer. He dances, he sings, he acts. You know, he's a comedian. He's every man, you know.
Okay.
And he's a delightful person, yes. And so I created on the spot, since they asked me what I did, and I said I'm, you know, teach soul line dance. I created the Wayne Brady bounce, which I quickly changed soon thereafter to the Wayne Brady slide.
Okay.
And I also revised the dance. I mean, when you're doing something on the spot, and it's my dance, so I can change my dance. But yeah, but now I call it the Wayne Brady slide, and I chose one of his songs. Back in the day is the name of his song that we used to dance. To do the Wayne Brady slide.
Created that dance.
Yeah.
I like that dance.
Thank you. Well, there are so many choreographers out there who do some really, really intricate dances or dance creations. I can only hope to be considered in that same category.
Of course. And you know,
Sure.
I'm glad I hear people say all the time, "Oh, well, this person is a big name in line dance and this and that and the other." And they say, "Oh, I'm just a little peon." And I hate to hear them say that, because you are what you say. You know, yeah, I know, Harriet, you've been doing a lot longer than me. You're a lot more experience in line dancing because of, you know, all of the different areas or genres of dance that you've done. But is it fair to say that this person is a little person, this person is a big person because they've been doing it longer? No, because this person is where God put them. You know what I'm saying? And you
No,
know,
that's right. That's right.
you know, I've been dancing 10
Mhm.
years and it felt like 100. You know, dealing with all the different personality, but I've learned so much. You know, you learn so much by working with all these different personalities. You learn how to deal with people from, you know, just keep smiling. Keep smiling and keep teaching. You know, that's what I do. And it works. It
Yes.
works for me. You know, I
Yes.
don't always
And
have
you
to have,
want to maintain on the dance floor. You want, people are there of one accord to
Mhm.
dance together. And that's a really good thing. To dance, it's a wellness activity. It makes you feel good when you do it. The mind body connection, all of that is so important.
Yes, definitely. Definitely it is. So I'm going to ask everyone, we're going to continue this conversation, but I ask everyone to subscribe to Let's Talk Soul Line Dance on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate you subscribing to keep this podcast going. And our next area that we're going to go into is anybody having a birthday in the month of January? Any January birthdays? What about you, Harriet? Your birthday January?
I'm a November baby,
You know, oh man, we
but
just missed you.
but there are a lot of January folks out there, and happy
There
birthday
are.
to all of you.
Yes. So we always
Mm.
sing happy birthday. So can you help us? Can you lead the happy birthday song? Sandra said her birthday was January 3rd. Happy birthday, Sandra. Everybody
Happy
else
birthday,
Happy birthday.
Sandra.
January.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we honoring
we're gonna
MLK.
sing.
Yep, we're gonna honor
Hey,
MLK too. Yep. Let's just sing happy birthday. You ready? You gonna lead it,
well, let
Harriet?
me say, I'm not doing the Stevie Wonder one because that one never ends.
Okay.
As much as I love it, we're just gonna do the straight and only one round. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
Everybody.
everybody.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Wait. I gotta put my clap on.
Thank you.
Birthday. Happy birthday. All
I
right.
want to thank all of my friends who joined me just now. No.
Yes.
That clap sounded like I was getting an award.
Oh, look. And you can go back and watch this right later, so they they get to hear us. If y'all want to buy the CD, just give me a call. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, $9.99.
You know what? And if you buy it today, we'll give you half off.
That's right. There you go.
I just want to mention too that I'm seeing a lot of my class and members' names and friends out there coming from Chicago, from California. I'm seeing Marianne Black and Kathy Huggs, which is Kathy Hayes of Hayes. Vaughn Carnelas, we call her Vaughn, out of LA. So many people have really gone toward helping me be able to do what I do and sharing information. Yes.
Yeah. And it's a community. It's a community. It, like they said, it takes a community to raise a child. It takes a community to raise a good line dance class, you know, with everyone working together, because nobody can do about it. I always tell my class, without a student, you don't need a teacher. And you don't need a teacher if you don't have a student. So you have
There
to
you go.
treat people right, you know, make them happy, make them want to come back to your class. They think I'm crazy in my class because we have fun. You know, we really do. I try to make it as fun as possible. I have them laughing. You know, it's this one lady, Miss Helen, in my class, and she's like an older student. She's 70 something. But I don't care what dance you do. Miss Helen is on a different beat than everybody else, but she know the dance. You know what I'm saying? So I told her, I said, don't get discouraged. You know why? Because I was told that no matter what rhythm you're on, there's somebody watching that's on the same beat you are. And I thought that was really
All
good.
right.
You know, don't stop it. we doing this and you over here doing that. You because one lady in my class told me, she said, I'm gonna stop going to line dance class to them other classes. I said, why? She said, because every time she said they always do it wrong. Every time I go left, they go right. I'm just tired of them doing it wrong. And I mean, it was so funny because she was so serious, you know. And she said everybody else is doing wrong because they going that way and she going this way. But it's all in the fun. You know, we all need a place to
Right.
go laugh and relax and just have a good time. And line dance for that.
No matter what your day job is or what you were trained or what you went to school to do, when you're on the dance floor,
You gone back to the cartoon. Okay, now I think you're back now. Go ahead.
I was just saying, no matter what work you do, what you've been trained to do, when you're on the line dance floor, you're part of the line dance family, you know, and whatever you're part of that moment, that class, that group.
So
Absolutely. And you know, that's what I love. I have grown to love about the line dance family, this community. It's uplifting. It's
Mhm.
encouraging, it's loving.
yes.
And whenever I begin to sense any negativity or things of that nature, you know, it pushes me away from, you know, like, oh, no, And I really embrace the quote that Mr. Charles Doss gave us last week. He said, "Love all people God gave because one day he's going to need them back."
Yes. Yep. We
And
know that.
so I'm
Right.
like, that's what we're about. That's
Mhm.
why I also enjoy the Let's Talk Soul Line Dance show because it's a place to love, you know, to love on those that come on. And it has been an honor to be able to love on you for these past 42 minutes, you know.
Yes.
I look forward to actually seeing you again in person. I think our last time, the last time we saw each other, I think was in Orlando.
It's been a long time.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah.
It sure has. Well, we're gonna move on to donations are being accepted via Cash App, $THELDC, and it stands for the Line Dance Connection. And now our next segment of our program is announcements. All right, Harriet, I know you have some announcements because you teach all over the world, so I know you have some.
Well, I have to talk about my activities first.
Okay.
On February 4th, we're doing a workshop. And because we're in Southern California, we try and have places where we dance in different areas. The workshop is going to be in Beaumont, which is on the far eastern edge of where our territory is.
Okay.
And then a month later, our annual anniversary celebration, which also has a Mardi Gras theme, is in March because that's when we started in March 19 years ago, come this March.
Okay.
And so we always have a yearly party, except
the years when we were shut down. In fact, our last anniversary celebration was 2020, and that's in Pomona, which is halfway
Okay.
between.
It's your cartoon again.
Okay, it's our program that we're going to have in Pomona is our anniversary. So we'll be happy to see people from all over at that time.
Back up a little bit. Back up from your mic a little bit. See if it comes back. There you go. Now you're ready. Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you missed the part about our annual anniversary party. We're having it March 4th in
Mhm.
Pomona at the Palomares Community Center. And you can contact me about any of that. We are going to be having more line dance events, and we also share and go to other events. One of my mentors, Marva Black, along with 6 other people, Marva Black and Friends, is going to be on Sunday, February 19th in Carson, California, which is south of Los Angeles.
Okay.
And one of the hosts, Von Carnelis, is on right now, as a matter of fact, or she has been on.
Okay.
And Edicia Elijah is another person that's part of that process. Yes.
Okay.
And
Thank
even
you.
with Elise,
Where is Beaumont at? I mean, I've never even heard of it.
Beaumont is far east. It's even further east than from LA than Riverside is. Riverside is about 50 miles east of LA.
Yeah,
And
I know where
Beaumont
Riverside is.
Beaumont is another 30 miles east of Riverside.
Okay, so which way are you going? I mean, what is the next town over from Beaumont?
Palm Springs. If you're saying
Okay,
over,
well,
you
I know
mean
where it's
further?
at now. Okay, so you're
No, yeah.
near Palm Springs. Okay.
More or less.
Alright.
Yes. One thing you're going to do down in Southern California is you're going to drive,
You're gonna
Oh,
drive.
or somebody's
yeah.
driving
Yeah.
you.
There's so many little towns that I have never even heard of. It's got a lot of little towns up in Northern California, which a lot of people have never heard of as well.
Okay.
Well, let me
You know,
say
Hercules,
that these aren't
like
really too
Hercules.
little. Yeah, I mean,
Have you ever heard
Riverside.
of Hercules?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you have? Okay.
But
Yeah.
see,
I hadn't until
I'm
my
a field worker.
cousin moved there. My cousin moved there. That's
It's
the only
my
reason
job.
why I heard of Hercules.
I'm a map reader, and that's one of
Oh,
the things we used
okay.
to do as kids. So, because I'm a field worker, if somebody
Uh-huh.
tells me a place, I'm on it. I'm already looking it up, to see where it
Okay.
is.
Yes. Okay.
Because it helps you know where you are in the world,
Okay.
It does. It does.
Yeah,
A lot of people
if
have gotten away with that navigation system, but
I
that
was gonna say,
navigation system is not a good thing.
listen, if
Sometimes it leads you
Well,
places
no,
that
I
you
think
don't
it's
want to go.
helpful.
No, but I was trying to find Pat's class when I was up in Houston. I was trying to find his class, and I could never find it because the navigation system was not leading me over to where his class was. So I had to miss it
Wow.
that day. Couldn't find it. I had to physically call him and ask him where it was. And then he physically gave me the directions, and so I was able to attend, but not on that day.
okay, and it happens. We have a before I read the announcements on the screen real quick, do you have any announcements, Linda?
No, not this time.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Zandra, you have any announcements?
no.
I do. My 10th anniversary celebration, October 13th, 14th, and 15th, here in Tampa, Florida, right by University of South Florida on Fowler Avenue. It's going to be, the theme for the year is The Queen is Giving a Ball, and this will be my last symposium. I'm not going to necessarily stop teaching, but I'm not going to have, this will be my last big event that I plan to have. And so I'm trying to make it like really nice, really big. And we're going to broadcast it on Let's Talk Soul Line Dance the following Sunday after the event. So hopefully y'all can make it. If you have any questions, just give me a call. Okay. Now online real quick, Richard said, I'm sorry, before him hit the floor, said January birthdays, Deborah Fleming, January 13th, Cheryl Toomer, January 15th. We are one, Columbus, South Carolina. Orlando, see, Yolanda, can y'all read that? I'm sorry.
Yolanda.
Thank you.
Yes.
Whetstone, 127,
Okay.
Lynette, South Carolina. Brenda
Mhm.
Beard, January 20th. Nora Stallings, 120. And now I just said their dates, and if you're reading, you can see where they're located, because it seemed
Okay.
like we were struggling there.
Okay. I got to put on the big bifocal.
Thank you. Hit the floor. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And then Richard Ziggy said Common Ground will be celebrating 20 years this year, October 12th through the 14th in Indianapolis, Indiana. So it's a lot going on. And Adrian's Feet in Motion said Adrian's Feet in Motion Soul Line Dance Group 7th anniversary is May 13th, 2023. So as y'all can see, and then what is it? Durag is going to be her guest instructor for their group. So it's a lot going on.
Yeah. Hey, Adrian, is that a day event? And I think because that event is the week before Rondi's event, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and don't forget M-Town Throwdown. Their event is in April.
Okay.
Mhm.
So listening in support of Harriet Cox Stuckey Heart and Soul Line Dance. Okay.
Hello,
So
Luana.
Luana said she tune in. Hey. And Adrian said yes.
Luana and
Go ahead.
Luana and Marianne and Jean, who I don't see is on here, we all were on 2 times America Says.
Yes.
Okay.
And they showed us, they liked us so much, they brought us back, and then they showed us several.
Back up, Harriet. Back up from your mic.
They showed
Okay, go
us
ahead.
reruns.
They showed reruns, and so you could see us lose again and again.
That's okay.
But we had fun. And
that's-
Luana
That's
was
all that matters.
You know, that you had fun. That's what it's all about. You know, sometimes I wish I could go back to being a little kid. Because if you ever seen little kids on the playground, every little child is their friend. You notice that?
yes.
I watched my grandchildren when they were younger, and they be on the playground. Like, this is my friend so and so. This is my. They don't care what color they are, what size they are, whether they're fat, skinny. You know, and if we could be more like that, you know, not necessarily your personal friend, but line dance friend, even. You know, if we could go back to that and be, you know, everybody we meet is our friend. I know people who like that. You know, everybody they meet is their friend. This is my friend. This is my friend. And if we could all be more like that, you know what a wonderful world this would be. Our line dance world would be untouchable for real. And it's getting to that. All we got to do is keep practicing, and it's coming. I believe that, you know, in my heart, I believe that it's really coming to that. So now we move on to our shout outs section. Miss Harriet, you have shout outs?
Well, to all of my line dance members in Heart and Soul, and I also want to mention to the ones of us like Kathy Hayes, who is an entrepreneur and, you know, has all sorts of events for us to dance. She's having another one March 11th because one had to be canceled because there was such a problem with the weather and goings on here. There'll be a big one at a place in Fontana in March, on March 11th, just to think about that. A shout out to all my line dance instructors in this general region, because we know, because you also have to travel to get there.
Yes.
We get stuck in the freeways sometimes on our way to our class.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yes. Okay.
got to plan ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Miss Linda, you have any?
Yes, I do. I wanted to special shout out for Harriet. Thank you for coming on. I've been trying to bug you about coming on, and you just like, well, but at least you came on today. I was very proud of that, and I'm glad that you came. It's been a wonderful interview. You've been very knowledgeable about everything, and we just enjoyed you. We're just glad that you came on. And then I also want to thank you, Queen. And I want to thank Zandra for being here. And then I also want to thank everyone that tuned in. And I want to shout out to Ziggy and Ray Tuku.
Okay. Thank you. And Miss Sandra, you have shout out? wait.
Love you all.
I'll wait. I'll give y'all the claps at the end. I'll give everybody claps at once. How about that?
That's
They don't
it,
like my
that's it.
claps, Harriet. I don't even care. I paid for these. Go ahead, Zandra.
I think they're great.
I'm done. I said I love you all. Love you
I
all.
love you all too. And my shout outs would be to everyone, every person who line dances, who's trying to line dance, who wants to line dance, who has never line danced and thinking about it. I want to give a shout out to you. The line dance world is awesome. It's amazing. And just to be able to move to a beat, to me, is very amazing. And Miss Harriet, I want to thank you so much for coming on our show today. You have truly, truly, truly been a blessing. And my
Thank
co-host,
you.
Sandra and Miss Linda, all of our online guests who tuned in today. I don't want to start naming names because I'll forget somebody. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for just tuning in, because you don't know how much that means. That means that you care enough to tune in to find out what else is going on in the line dance world. So we want to say thank you. And I ask you to like, share, and subscribe to Let's Talk Soul Line Dance on Facebook and YouTube. And right before we do our trivia break, I have Queen's thought of the day. It's not my thought, but this is the one I'm giving. Few things are impossible to diligence and skill. Great works are performed not by strength, but perseverance. That's by Samuel Jackson. So remember, I don't care how hard this line dance thing gets, just persevere. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. I always say it takes one step at a time to get to the next level. So if you keep stepping, then eventually you'll get there. Okay. So before we go, now we're ready for our trivia break. Miss Harriet, don't forget to add Let's Talk Soul Line Dance to your bio. We appreciate you
Yes.
very much.
Thank
And
you. I'm
You're
so
welcome.
glad to be a part of this, and you all do a fine job.
Thank you so much. We are really blessed to have you. All right, so now it's time for our
Well,
trivia.
before you move on, Queen, don't forget the shout out. Ziggy said shout out to all the common city slider groups and to all the line dancers across the U.S. Mad love to you all.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Ziggy. And you know what? You said to the
Very
U.S., but
nice.
I'm saying to all the line dancers around the world, because we have several from out of the country, out of the United States, that tune into our show every week, our line dance show. So not only to the U.S., but to those around the world. Okay, so let me
Right.
get these claps. Hold on. I love my claps. I love my claps. All right, so now we're going to move on to the trivia break. And this is the part of the show where everyone can participate, even our online guests. And let me tell you the rules. You can only win one answer a week, and we do 4 questions. So you can win one answer. So the first one that types in their answer, the correct answer, is the one who will win. And I will send $5 to everyone who tunes in, who does the right answer. And before we finish our trivia, I want to give y'all the dance of the week so I don't forget. This is the dance of the week. Fontana First. Ladies Night by Kool & song is Ladies Night by Kool & the Gang. And our very own guest, Miss Harriet Cox Stuckey, is the choreographer for that dance. So y'all make sure y'all look it up. Fontana First, Ladies Night by Kool & the Gang. Okay? That's the song of the week. So now we're going to go back to our trivia. All right. Are y'all ready? Whoops. Are y'all ready to win some money? Woo! Come on. I gotta do my own clap. Okay, I'm ready to win.
Was that a dog barking?
Okay, Marquise. Marquise always messing with us about it. Okay, so I'm looking for my number. Sandra, where's my number? Oh, right.
This here, 813-407.
So if you are a winner, thank you. If you are a winner of any of the questions, the trivia questions, just text your Cash App to 813-407-1216. If you don't have Cash App and you have Zelle, same thing. Text it to me, say Zelle, and give me your Zelle account. And I will definitely send you your money. And Adrian says, I love that dance. I taught it a couple of months ago.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go and look it up. I hope it's not hard, is it, Miss Harriet? Okay, so good.
No.
Look it up tonight and teach it tomorrow.
Great.
All right.
Great.
Yes. All right. So, Miss Harriet, are you ready? Do you have your first trivia question of tonight?
Oh, I'm supposed to ask to ask the question. I'm sorry, I missed that.
One question. Yeah, you asked one question of the audience. Something that we talked about. That if they were writing in notes.
Oh, right. You did tell me that. You
Okay.
did tell me that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I would like to know how far away is Riverside from LA?
All right. How far away is Riverside from LA? Do, 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 do.
You know what?
How
That may
far
not
away
be a
is
fair
it?
question.
Let me see. I missed that. How far is it from where?
I'll give you a hint. I didn't give you exact mileage from LA, but I related it to
Kathy
LA and Palm Springs.
Kathy said
Ah.
59 miles.
And
Ray
Ray said
Tutu
50
said
miles.
50 miles. I
which
think you
is
said 50 miles.
I think they're both right. Depends on what part of LA you're in. But I would say the average would be
Your sound went out again. Okay, say something now.
it depends on what part of LA you're in.
No. Okay, depends on what part of LA you're in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
The
we
trick
have
question,
Kathy and Ray, right?
and you have an Yvonne. I am
Came on too with the same as Kathy Hug.
well,
I don't know.
I have to get them 250 apiece since they both had the same.
Because Kathy came in first, though.
All
Kathy.
right. Yes, she did. And I
Okay.
see Sylvia Riley now. Uh-oh. And oh, Kathy's being very specific. South side. Yeah.
Yvonne said 1 hour and 3 minutes. Y'all need to stop on y'all phones, y'all, with the Google.
Oh, listen, we know that by heart from out here.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
What university was Miss Harriet walking through when she heard Motown music in the foyer of the law building?
Good question.
Oh, that is good. You were paying attention.
Of course, I told you I had my notes.
All right. Let's see who could get that answer. If you were listening, you would know. Oh, wait, hit the floor, got it.
No,
Right?
that's not
No,
quite
it's not.
correct.
That's the wrong spelling. Yeah.
It's
Almost.
not strap.
It's not. All right. Look, now
All
that's
right,
who been
Ray.
paying attention. Ray
Ray
Cool
Cool
is on it
Johnson.
tonight.
All right. All right, Ray.
Yes.
So I'll give Ray number 2 question. How's that? And I'll give Kathy question number 1. Is that all right? Okay, Linda,
Works
you
for
ready?
me. Hopefully.
Yes, I am. Okay, so what are the two important things that you need before you start your class?
Oh, good question. Good question. I know. No, I'm just
Interesting.
All right. What 2 things do you need before you start you should have? Let's say that. 2 things you should have before
Okay.
starting your. Is that okay, Linda?
Yes.
Worded like that? Okay. So what 2 things, heart and soul? Good question.
You gotta-
Hit the floor, but that's not it.
The heart and soul.
I love it.
That's cute.
Hopefully you have both of those.
Yeah.
A certificate and insurance. Go ahead, Kathy. Right?
These are
Kathy,
all good answers. Floor space and
I'm
lighting.
trying to remember what Miss Harriet said. Now I kind of remember the floor space and the lighting. That she
License
mentioned.
license
and insurance was also.
Yeah, but that was a question I
all
came back and I asked you for. But I think when I asked you what advice could you give a beginner that may be watching, and I think the floor space and the lighting was something that you mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the things that she said.
Yes.
I don't remember which one came first, but
But
that was one of the
Yeah.
That was after.
But-
That was after.
But let's ask Linda. Linda, what were you looking for?
Looking for the license and insurance.
Okay.
Okay. Does that
Mhm.
Kathy? All
Well,
right.
Linda
That's
Garola.
Linda.
No.
Who?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. She
Kathy
said
said
mentor
certificate
and
of insurance. Is that what she? Oh, so license. So we gotta give it to Linda.
Hit the floor.
Yeah, I
Points.
think it's license. I think Linda Garola
I mean,
knows
I'm
is
sorry.
the one that.
Yes, it's Linda. Linda. Yes.
It's Linda.
Mhm.
Okay. So Linda gets number 3. Okay. So
Yep.
I'm gonna ask the final question. And my question is, what famous actor did Harriet meet on TV? In the studio? What famous actor
That was a
did
good one.
in the studio? Do, 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 do. Y'all remember?
That was good. That's good because she got it.
Rolling back? Yeah.
Yeah, but she gave them 2. It was 2 of them.
It was 2 what? People she met?
Yes.
There you go, Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda.
That's the thing. Yeah, but remember, she also
Yeah.
said she was on American Saves.
Okay. And who did she meet?
Yeah, but we didn't talk about that.
We talked about who she met, though, right?
Yeah,
Because I
Brenda
asked
got
who
that
did she
one.
meet.
Well, you
And
know,
oh,
that's
by
the
the way,
whole.
Brenda's another one. That's
Instructors in movie. Yeah,
But,
Brenda ate that one.
okay. Well, you all have been praying. Don't forget, text me your Cash App or your Zoom, and I will send you your money. And Miss Harriet, I told you already, but don't forget to add Let's Talk Soul Line Dance to your bio. Everybody, the
Yes.
dance of the week is Fontana First. Ladies Night, the song by Kool and the Gang. So make sure you look at the dance of the week and be ready to teach to your classes. Miss Harriet, thank you so much for coming on Let's Talk Soul Line Dance and being our guest tonight. You have been amazing. And I look forward to
Thank
seeing you
you.
on the dance floor, on the wood, on the dance floor. How's they say? With your feet off the floor in the sky, wherever it may take you. we look forward to seeing you. And thank you to my co-host, Miss Sandra Hill Costa, Miss Linda Flowers. Thank you, everyone who tuned in online. I never close the show without saying, love is no good unless you give it away. So, ready, ladies? Here's some of
Ready.
ours. All right. Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great one. Until next
Thank
time,
you.
next Sunday, we are going to
See y'all
have
later. Thank you, Melva. I was wondering where you were doing trivia. But
next
love
Sunday.
you all. Have a good night.
Who we have
Thank
next Sunday?
you.
I'm trying to do next Sunday. Next Sunday is
Ricky Potts.
Thank you.
Ricky Potts.
Everything I knocked everything down here. I was trying.
Ricky Potts is next Sunday.
Will be on next Sunday. So make sure y'all tune in. It's going to be awesome all over again. And thank you, Harriet. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see y'all next Sunday. Much love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.